Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue sur Blabla Katie. My name is Katie and today we're going to blah blah about 5 tips for packing a carry-on bag for a flight to France. If you saw one of my recent videos on what bags to pack for France, you've already seen my carry-on backpack, which is this, and what I plan on bringing for my personal item. I'm not going to talk about the bags themselves in this video because I pretty much already did that in the last one, but I will put their links in the description box along with anything else that I happen to show you. As usual, if you use my links to buy one of these items, I might get a small commission, but it's at no cost to you, so if you want to help a girl out, please use my links. So anyway, ideally this video would have been me actually packing my carry-on and my personal items because I honestly thought that I was going to be leaving by now to go to France, but I'm still waiting on the visa. I also have a couple of videos on that whole process as well if you're trying to find out more about the whole visa process or if you're just interested in where I'm at. I'll put all of these links in the description box as well. But since I'm not getting ready to actually leave for France yet, I think I'd get really sad actually packing up any of these bags, so I'm just gonna hold off on that for a little bit. And today I just want to give you some tips that I wish I had known the first few times that I was traveling, just to make it go a lot smoother. And of course, all these tips are going to focus on the carry-on bag and personal item. So the first tip that I want to give you feels kind of obvious, but you'll definitely want to check into both the TSA website and the website for your airline to see what you're allowed to actually bring on the flight in the carry-on bag and the personal item. So for example, you're allowed to bring liquids on the plane, but they have to be a certain size in clear containers, and all of these containers have to be held in a clear bag no bigger than a quart, so looks like this. And I did get this a while ago and didn't treat it very well, but a lot of times the bags will have somewhere in the corner something that says TSA compliant, so you know that it's perfect for the carry-on. I'm pretty sure I got this at Target for like a couple of dollars, and I have to get a new one because I broke the top of it, but it's super easy to find these, and there are a bunch of different types that are TSA compliant. And while your liquids are going to be limited, if you have a prescribed medication that is in liquid form, that's actually exempt from the amount of liquid that you can bring on the plane, but I do think it's something that you have to let the TSA officers know when you're in line for security. This is something I've never had to do before, but once again, definitely look into the TSA website because they will have more information for you. Some examples of things that you can bring on the plane that I actually didn't think was possible are things like nail clippers, razors, scissors, as long as the blade doesn't go past like a certain length. And of course, there are just a ton of things that you cannot bring on the plane. The list is super long, and again, it's available on these websites. So definitely glance over them before you decide what you're actually bringing in your carry-on. And if you have a specific question about anything, just look into the websites. And to go back to the liquids that are allowed in your carry-on, there is a little hack that I really wish I'd known when I first started out traveling. So whatever bottle that you're bringing that's containing a liquid in your carry-on, this could probably also go for your suitcase. Before you screw the cap onto this bottle, you should put a little piece of cellophane over the top of it and then put the bottle cap on. I don't exactly know why things are more prone to spill when you're on an airplane. I'm sure it has something to do with air pressure and just all of the moving that's going on, but by putting the cellophane on the top of those bottles before you screw on the cap, it's going to prevent any spillage and make your life a lot easier. My third piece of advice is to invest in a luggage scale, and pretty much the point of this is to weigh your luggage, and that way you'll know how much everything weighs before you actually go to check in, and you'll know if you have to make it lighter or if you actually have some more room to put more things in whatever bag. This has come very much in handy in the past. There was one time when I was traveling and my suitcase was actually a little bit too heavy, and so I just transferred some of the things from the suitcase into my carry-on, which hadn't hit the limit yet, and that way I didn't have to worry about any extra fees once I checked in. So the way that this works, you hook this onto a handle of your baggage, and then you pick it up like this, and this little screen will tell you how much it weighs. So if I were to show you, I would hook it like so, and then I would just look at the weight from up here. I'm telling you, this has saved me a lot of stress. My fourth piece of advice is to figure out ahead of time what you're going to have to take out for security and make sure that that is easily accessible. So if you're like me, once you get into the security line, for whatever reason, you get a little panicked. And for me, I think it's just because I feel like I'm going so slow, when in reality, it probably doesn't matter, but I like being quick and just getting out of the line and then making my way towards my gate. So in order to not really slow myself down, I always make sure that my liquids and my laptop are somewhere that I can just easily grab them. So for the carry-on, I'm going to put the liquids in this pocket, and then I'm going to put my laptop in a compartment back here. And that way when I get up to the line, I can just take off my backpack, take one out here, take one out here, put them in the little bin that they give you, and then put this bag by itself in a completely separate bin, and I'm done. So this makes going through security a little bit faster and way less stressful as well. And finally, my last piece of advice actually has to do with the personal item, and in general, I just want to say make sure that you are using that personal item because there's so much extra space within the personal item that you should be taking advantage of. And something that's really good to know is that once you get past security, once you're going towards your gate, you can move around things from your carry-on item to your personal bag, and there's no problem with that. So what I like doing is actually taking anything from my carry-on bag that I know that I'll want in flight or that I will want close to me, for example, my laptop, and putting that in my personal item before I get on the plane. This just gives me a lot more peace of mind because sometimes, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to find space right above your seat to stow your carry-on. Sometimes it has to go somewhere else in the plane, and I just feel so much better when I have expensive things like my laptop much closer to me in flight. Obviously, you'll also want to put things in your personal item that you will want to use during the flight, like earplugs, eye masks, headphones, a book for entertainment, etc. Whatever you do, just make sure that you are using your personal item to the best of your ability. So those are my 5 tips for packing a carry-on to go to France. I hope that they will make your flight much smoother than some of my previous flights have gone. And fingers crossed, within the next few videos, you're actually going to see me packing these bags as I prepare to finally go to La France. If you have anything else you'd like to add, please put it in the comments down below, as always. If you got any value out of this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. À la prochaine!